Hey guys, so my first proper video that's not completely embarrassing where I don't know what I'm going to talk about is a story time, and today I'm going to be telling the story of how I smashed my head open to get out of PE. So yeah, let's just dive right in. So when I was in third year at high school, I had a little incident. Me and my best friend at the time had a sleepover and stuff like that weekend, and we just like found this awesome, amazing rope swing in the woods where we live, and it was like the best rope swing ever. It was right over this big massive hill. It was like a really big drop, and it was just so good. So we'd been on that the day before, and so my friend was quite a bit shorter than me, and she couldn't reach it that well. So she asked if I could get a rock so she could stand on the rock and then she could reach it better. So I said okay. So I like dragged this huge fucking boulder, like massive. It wasn't even just like a little pebble. It was like a big. I had to find the biggest rock possible and drag it from the bottom of this hill at the bottom of our woods, like all the way up to the top, because the woods are like hills, like really big hills up and down. So we had to drag it from the bottom of the hill all the way up to the very top of the hill where the rope swing was. So we brought that up and she used it and she was like, actually, this isn't like working out because it wobbled when she's doing it, so it wasn't really good. So then we just kind of like kicked it down the bottom of the hill and we were like, whatever, it's fine. So yeah, that we played on that swing the entire day. It was so much fun. And then the next day we got up really early in the morning. We like packed the picnic. We like packed so much shit. We were so organised and ready for like a whole day of tree swing fun. And yeah, so we got there and we were about 25 minutes into it and we were taking videos like on the swing. We were like laughing, having a great time. It was so much fun. And I decided to go and fucking fall off the thing. So I went really, really far back. Obviously, I didn't like decide this, by the way. I didn't like decide I was going to fall off on purpose. That was just my way of phrasing that. I did that by accident, entirely by accident, just to make that clear. So I walked back really, really far, like the furthest I've ever went back. I was on my tiptoes, like so much on my tiptoes, like I could not be any more on my tiptoes or I would be floating. So I went so far back and I jumped onto the swing and I swung right over, and as I swung I spinned that fast that I lost my grip and I just went bam like that. I hit the ground like so hard, and the rock from the day before was at the bottom of the hill, and my head right on the rock, right bam smack on the fucking rock, right on my forehead. And I was like dazed because I'd landed in like bushes and everything and leaves, and I was just like dazed. I was like, what just happened? I like sat up and I was all like, I thought, I was like, I'm okay, I'm okay. I was like, I'm okay. I can't believe I'm okay from that. And then I like touched my head and I was like, oh my god. And then this blood just went like it just went pew, and like what came shooting right in my head. And my friend was like she was like freaking out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not okay. She was like, you're gonna die. Like she was literally just said to me, like, you're gonna die. And I was like, I'm gonna die. And I was like screaming and she was screaming and we're just running through these woods, like trying to not die. And like from my house, the woods is like at the top of the village, and then you've got to go like all the way back to the middle of the village where I live to get like back there. So we were running. She was like, "We have to knock on someone else's door. We have to knock on someone's door. Like you need help." And I was like, "No, I'm not talking to a random. Like I'm not talking to a stranger." So then eventually we were just kind of like, okay. So we got to my house, and she like knocked my door as well, which I don't know, it was weird because I was there. Like I could have just walked to my house, but she like knocked the door, and Mom came to the door and she was like, what happened? And I had my hand over like this so she couldn't really see, but the blood was like running down and into my sleeve, but all you could see was like a little bit of blood like that. And she was like, what happened? What happened? And she told like, and I just like burst out crying at this point. I'd managed to not cry like the whole way. I was just screaming like in panic, but not like crying. And then as soon as I got to the house, I just started physically like floods of tears, like, oh, I'm gonna die, and I was like freaking out. So, she sat me down in the kitchen and she was like, right, let me look at it, and like took my hand off and she just went, and just saw her face like just drop. She was like, and she was trying to act as if it was normal, but you could tell that she was like freaking out, and she was like, okay, just like give me a tissue. She was like, right, we need to go to the hospital, you're gonna be fine, like it's fine. She was so calm, but you could tell that she was just freaking out. So we got to the hospital and I was getting like so tired by this point, like I was literally just like dripping, I was like dying. So not physically, not literally, obviously, but I was just like, I was so tired. So then we got there and we sat, and we only went to like minor injuries at this point, but we just like sat there in the hospital and we were sitting there for ages and ages, and eventually we got seen. And they took me through, and by this point, like, my whole sleeve, all over me, was, like, covered in blood. Like, the whole, I was soaking, it was on my shoes, it was everywhere. So they looked at it, and they were like, you need to go to, like, the proper A&E, like, the big one. And I was like, oh my god. So they put me in an ambulance, because, like, my mum, because we went there, we were, like, in their system, so we couldn't just drive there ourselves. They had to, like, transport us there, so we had to get an ambulance and everything, and I had to like go in a wheelchair, and it felt so awkward. But yeah, so then I got to that hospital and I was there for ages and ages and ages. Like, the hospital system's so slow and it's so annoying, because I wish it would just like speed up so I can actually get my head not have a hole in it anymore. And my head was like pounding by this point. Like, when it first happened, it wasn't really sore because I was in such shock, but by this point my head was pounding and it was so agony, it was so sore. So yeah, that happened. So yeah, I sat for ages, they like numbed it and stuff, and then they done my stitches, which was actually alright. Like, I felt tugging, but it wasn't sore, which I was so glad about, because, you know, and I was really panicking that they were going to be putting a needle through my skin, so that was good. And then they had to keep me there for ages and ages. They wanted to keep me overnight, but I didn't want to stay overnight because I was starving, I hadn't eaten all day, and I just wanted to go and have a McDonald's. So, so, yeah, eventually at like 1:30 in the morning, I finally got out. And then my mum went to McDonald's, and my dad as well, he was there too. And yeah, we got a McDonald's, we went home, and then everybody found out, and it was a big thing. So yeah, that happened. So then I went to school. Like, I was off school for the week I had my stitches in, but when I got my stitches out, like, they told me I couldn't take part in PE or whatever because I had internal stitches too, and I couldn't, like, if something hit my head, it was like all burst open again. So I had to not take part in PE or, like, you know, do any physical things too much. So I went back to school that week. I got my stitches out, and I was standing in PE, and I wasn't taking part. I had a note from my mum. Everything was chill, you know, like, he knew what had happened. And he stood there, and he was like, why you not got changed? And I was like, I have a note from my mum, and I gave him the note, and he looked at it, and it said, like, I'd split my head open, blah blah blah. And then he was like, any excuse to get out of PE, Rachel. And I was like, what? Like, excuse me? Yeah. Like, what? I just went to the woods, threw myself off the edge of a big hill, and smacked myself on a rock to get out of a week of PE. Like, it was 1 week. And he was literally, like, saying that I did that just to get out of PE. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Like, my life does not revolve around being out of PE for a week. Like, I'm sorry, you're not that special to me, like, no. But literally, so I said to that to him, I was like to him, look, like, my head smashed open, it was all I've had loads of stitches, I've had inside stitches, outside stitches, it's been really bad, I've been off school all week, and I'm just back, and I'm not to take part in PE. Like, the hospital told me not to take part in PE because if something hits my head, all the thing will burst open and it'll be really bad, so I'm not to do anything. So, but he was just like, no, you could do PE, like, you could do PE, and I'm like, no, but I can't do PE, I can't. So it was just kind of like, whatever, and I kind of like sat out, and he was in a massive huff with me, but it was like, come on, how pathetic do you have to be to think that I would smash my head open just to get out of a week of PE? So yeah, that's my whole story. The whole, like, that part was kind of short, and that's what I was like talking about. But you know, it's the main story was me smashing my head open and nearly dying. So yeah, and subscribe. That's okay. So I'll see you next week. Bye.